Good morning, everyone. Ballerina behind me. Today's the parade. Got here super early. Kind of quiet still, but I think it's gonna pick up here shortly, and it should be a big party. Let's see what we get into. $5. Now let's get into stick and puck.
Alright, welcome back to the season finale of Stick and Puck. This is going to be our last one for this season, eh, Keats?
It is. Number 6.
Number 6.
Last one, but we'll be back.
Oh yes, and we'll be back in action. So, well, I mean, we've got quite a few things to talk about. I mean, obviously the Stanley Cup Finals, the Colorado Avalanche. Congrats on the win.
Yeah, it turned out good for us, didn't it?
Oh yeah, but I mean, there has been some interesting things that have happened in the interim, during, and after. I mean, let's. I'm gonna start with this one. You know, the Tampa Bay Lightning did get their three-peat, but just not the three-peat that they wanted.
Definitely, yeah. No, it wasn't the three-peat that they were hoping for, but
I mean, well, Corey Perry definitely secured a three-peat for him. I mean, 3 different teams, 3 different Stanley Cup Final losses.
Poor guy, man. What was it? Dallas? No, Montreal. Yeah. Or no, Dallas, Montreal, and now the Lightning. Yeah, no, that you can't help but to feel a little bad for the guy, but then watching him in the season, in the playoffs, some of the things that he did, you know, kind of like chirping on Kemper and just kind of being a shithead a little bit.
I mean, well, that's Corey Perry through and through, if you ask me.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. So in the end, I don't feel bad for him. And then Patty Maroon too. Like, I don't know why he's crying. He's won 3 Stanley Cups.
Right,
it's all right, dude. Like, that doesn't happen to any. You know what I mean?
For real, and he's bugging about this one. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand it is the Stanley Cup. It's the hardest trophy to win in all of sports. So, I mean, you're gonna feel pretty bad about it. I mean, the Patty Maroon crying picture goes right up there with, you know, the Brad Marchand crying picture, you know?
Yeah, no, they're both very satisfying to look at. But let's go back a little bit. Let's kind of go to the beginning of the finals, Lightning Avs. Did it go the way you expected it to go, or were there some things that you were surprised about?
Well, listen, I'm only a human, and trust me, I had confidence in the Avs, but I mean, Tampa Bay is where they are for a reason, and I think this Stanley Cup Final was probably the most competitive out of at least the last 5 or 10 in the last 5 or 10 years. Honestly,
it was very exciting. It was a very exciting playoffs. I gotta agree with that 100%. I mean, like you said in our last podcast, this is gonna be the best of the best, and it truly was. There were, in a way, there were no surprises. Honestly,
no, not really. I mean, it was truly the most deserving of the two teams in the NHL going to the Stanley Cup Finals and fighting it out. So. I mean, incredible hockey all around. I mean, it had everything you wanted, huge hits, huge goals. I mean, both teams blowing each other out, and then, just these one-goal games that are just, goalie standoffs, basically. It's just, and I mean, some of the best, literally the best players in the league going at it. Everybody said the Edmonton Oilers, Colorado Avalanche series was going to be just so incredible. I think the Tampa Bay Avs series blew that one out of the water.
Yeah, no, I'd say the Oilers one was pretty good too. I thought the Oilers one was pretty decent. Even it was, we blew them out, swept them, but there were certain times where I was just like, oh man, like when you thought the Avs were gonna just like cruise along, the Oilers came back fairly quickly, and then it turned into a nail biter where you're like, oh, we might lose this one,
right.
So that was the excitement for me when it came to the Oilers, and then watching the finals with the Lightning. I mean, it was just like a back and forth.
Really
you couldn't
was.
figure out like minus game 3 and 4 actually. Those are the two games where it was pretty like obvious like which team's gonna win. Game 3, I think we were the 7-0, right?
That was game 2.
Game 2. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Game 2, and then they had to have been then game 3 right afterwards.
Yeah, that
the Avs got blown
victory.
out.
Yeah.
Basically, just as bad as they blew out the Lightning.
Oh yeah.
But for the rest of the games, for me at least, it was kind of like the Oilers, when like you saw someone was ahead, it was like, oh, this is looking good, and then next thing you know, the other team catches up, and it's like, what's going to happen? This is going to be an overtime, or which there was, and then all the other crazy stuff that fell in between, the whole too many men, and
the
so on and so
drama.
forth. Yeah, it was just, I mean, all in all, it was just like excitement on all different spectrums, right? They're like
all facets of the game, man.
Yeah, it was, you could debate the reffing and then, some of the players, and it was just a very, very exciting playoffs.
And I mean, highest viewed Stanley Cup Final in a long time, so that's great for the league success and getting out of escrow for the NHLPA and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's huge. A highest watched Stanley Cup Final, I'll take it. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was cool, and in that sense, like, I'm not surprised. I want to say probably the good amount of the people that were watching were probably in Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're talking 21 years. People have been waiting for this moment for a long, long time after 2001, right? And I think now that they finally got there, I think people that weren't really true hockey fans watched probably the whole finals.
Oh, easily.
It was a big deal. It was very exciting here.
Well, it was just like all the numerous people saying, was it either going to be, a dynasty to come true or a new legacy to start?
Yeah.
That's major drama, man. People get interested in stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this series did not disappoint in any of that.
No, it did not. It did not. It was awesome, man.
Oh, yeah. But let's move on. Let's move on to the celebration because I've been talking about this with so many people. I want to get your opinion about it. Bo Byram almost getting kicked out of his own parade.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Well, I even wanna go a little bit back and just kind of like laugh about a little bit when we obviously got the cup and all the excitement and the first dent into the cup. Not even like 5 minutes in.
Yeah, Obey Kubel just dropping it, going to the pile.
Slipping out of excitement, whatever, and just putting this biggest dent on the bottom of it. And that itself was hilarious, and it was funny. Like there was an interview afterwards of one of the cup holders, and he was just kind of like, are you gonna have to go through, like, this is probably the fastest cup dent in history of the Stanley Cup. It happens all the time.
Oh yeah, but this is probably the fastest.
But this was probably one of the quickest ones we've seen so far. What did he say? It was within the 5 minutes of them getting a hold of it, which was hilarious. But then going into the parade and stuff, Bo Byram, I actually ended up going.
Oh, did you?
I was there.
Sweet.
Ended up going. I wasn't in the crowd when Bo Byram almost got kicked out of his own parade. But what happened there was, he's just a young-looking fella, and he just looks like a 15-year-old little asshole,
party guy,
that jumped over, into the parade and tried to chug a beer with, Nathan McKinnon or someone.
Yeah, somebody in the crowd for sure. The dude that was right next to Bo happened to be, filming it because obviously in this day and age
everyone had their cameras out.
So, yeah. So it was just so choice that that this police officer comes up to him. He's like, "Get back across the line," and Bo's just sitting there like, "I'm a player, dude. This is my parade. This is my parade." Even the people in the crowd were like, "He's a player, bro. He's a player."
You could even see in the video, some people on, some of the fire engines and stuff were like, "He's one of ours!" They're, screaming. It was the funniest thing. But, all jokes aside, too, is, you can't help but to, the cop's in a tough position,
Yeah.
He's a policeman. He might not even be a hockey fan. He was just assigned that day to... be part of this parade.
Yeah,
so he doesn't know what these players look like and stuff.
And with the crazy stuff that's happening these days, it's totally understandable.
Well, that's the thing.
But the thing is, we could definitely sit back and laugh about it.
Oh yeah,
which is great.
It's hilarious. Yeah, it was so funny, and there were just so many other videos that ended up coming out after the parade too.
Oh yeah,
Eric Johnson was hilarious, for example.
Oh, totally.
I mean, that guy, I don't know if he figured out how to use his phone for the first time, but he was going on Instagram Live and giving nip slips and asking people if they want to come to the strip club tonight. Just hilarious, I mean, they were all trashed. They're completely wasted. And then another good one was Mikko Rantanen. Mikko was wasted. I have some footage that I'll throw onto the YouTube.
Oh yeah, him and Lecky, dude.
He it was so funny. I assume whoever was on that fire engine or truck, whatever it was, I assume it was his mom and girlfriend.
I think it was just the two Finns, and then they're plus ones or whatever.
But they were holding him back by the jersey.
And Lecky too, yeah. At both sides, there's a picture. Even the firefighter just holding both the back of their jerseys.
Because they're and it God forbid, I mean, it's pretty high up. Those things are pretty high, and they're driving on paved roads, and they're intoxicated. It's one bad act, that could end really, really bad.
Shotgunning beers, drinking out of shoes, they were doing it.
It was insane.
The Finns were probably the best part, and then Landy. I actually saw the footage of Landy, the guy that had the Swedish flag. Mm-hmm. He went over and Landy just straight up asked, "Can I have this, dude?" He's like, "Yeah, take it." And then that flag became the stalwart for the rest of the celebration. I mean,
yeah, Landy was funny too. I got some good. I was like right towards the end of the parade where it was just like the last few, maybe a mile or less before they got to the Civic Center, to the stage, and they ended up actually like stopping like right where I was standing, and I was there like where he like had the cup, and then they jumped off and they kind of ran around, and I mean, I wasn't one of those fangirls that like had to run all the way up to the barrier and stuff, because
let me touch him.
Because as soon as him and EJ went down, like everyone just like, I just got like pushed like out. I'm like, oh sorry, like I wasn't even gonna go up through the barriers, but people were like losing their minds. But I got a good look at the cup, and it was pretty sweet, man. I'll throw all that in the video.
Oh, totally. And the one really wholesome part about the whole thing was Pavel Francouz. He's just he was basically on a fire truck, basically just with his family the entire time. He's just being a total a girl dad, you know, just hanging out with his kid. Probably the most wholesome part of that whole thing. I just had to throw it in because everybody else is just like partying their ass off, and then here comes Frankie, just like, you know, hanging out, letting his little girl nap on his lap. So it's like wholesome and stuff. So
there were definitely some that were, I mean, like EJ, Landy, Branton, Lincoln, and all of those. Even Byram, like.
Byram even came out when they were all introducing all the players, when they finally got to to the Capitol, wherever they were doing it, and Byram came out when they introduced Eric Johnson instead. He's all walking out like, Eric Johnson, and then here comes Bo Byram all drunk walking out. He's like, oh, that's not me. You know, he was just absolutely hilarious.
And then I don't know if you saw like the whole video too. He just awkwardly stood in the back, so he was like in the video like throughout the whole like 40 minutes, however long it was. He's just like awkwardly there, just kind of like, you know. And there was in one portion where he's like scratching his head or like messing with his hair for like 5 minutes, and it's just hilarious. It's like these people are so trashed right now. I mean, and good for them, man. Well deserved.
And hell, man, even, you know, Cale Makar let loose. He's usually so soft spoken. I mean, even when he got up and spoke, when everybody was, you know, saying what they wanted to say, like he was getting into it, you know, yelling and stuff. So, you know, like. And a lot of people have been giving the Avs a bunch of shit on social media about how like they're overdoing it. And I'm like, dude, you literally just went through a meat grinder of a gauntlet to win something you've been working for your entire life, and you're gonna sit here and, you know, give shit to the people who worked their ass off to get here for celebrating something so incredible.
Yeah.
Like, give me a break. Dude, get off your high horse and be a person for a minute.
Yeah,
you know?
the tough part, is what... I mean, I saw the same thing, you know. A lot of people were upset about the whole cup situation. About the first dent, and then there were other videos going around of them just, like, falling over with the cup and just being drunk. I mean, yeah, a little reckless, I suppose, or whatnot. But what I think what a lot of people don't understand is, like, this is not like a first. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, for God's sakes, the cup's been left on the side of a road before.
There's all kinds of crazy stories about the cup. The only issue right now is we're in 2022. Everyone and their mom has a phone.
Oh, yeah.
And everything gets documented now. You know, you don't need a camera crew to catch things happen. Like, you have this guy right here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and you can catch everything, and then it gets released on Instagrams, Twitters, whatever, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you get all this footage of it, and you're like, oh my God, they're so reckless, and this and that. Well, yeah, back in 1990, it was the same thing. They just didn't have these phones, so no one knew about it.
Oh,
you know, and I don't think people think of it that way. And I've seen some shitty Lightning fans out there too, just bash like, oh, so disrespectful towards the cup. And there's so much footage from like last year,
And
where they
before,
dented the top of the
bowl.
of the bowl and all this stuff. Like, it's like, shut up. Like,
and
you guys did the same exact thing.
Yeah, and I mean, do we not remember when Washington won the cup? I mean, it was dented the first night too.
Oh yeah, Ovechkin put probably 20 dents in it.
Yeah. So I mean, I just don't get it, because, you know, like, dude, you realize that these are people, you know? Happiness is a real thing. Apparently in your life, nobody can be happy or show it.
Yeah.
So I mean, get off it, dude. Just get off it.
It's just some people have a tough time being happy for other people, and it just is what it is, and it's a fan base thing, and, you know, and if it's not your team or whatever, you know, they'll always have something to criticize.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's not even, you know, it doesn't have to be about the cup. It has to be about their playing style or whatever, and this and that. And it's like, get over it,
dude, for real. And I mean, come on, if your life revolves around the absolute treatment of, you know, being out in society, or, you know, a 3-foot, you know, nickel 32-pound trophy. I mean, yeah, of course, we all love the Stanley Cup. It's a coveted, it's a beautiful thing. But if your life revolves around criticizing people for accidentally or whatever, you know, denting the cup, you know it's going to get fixed after everybody spends a day with the cup. It's going right back to the Hockey Hall of Fame. No matter what, it's getting retreated, repurposed, and it's going to be like new next year.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's part of the gig. That's, you know, they're prepared for it. It will look exactly how it did next season. So
they're hockey dudes, not freaking chess players, you know. Right. Everybody that has played hockey's got a wild side.
Absolutely.
And when you win the ultimate prize in hockey, and add a bit of alcohol to it, it's gonna get a little crazy.
It'll most definitely get a little crazy, and it definitely did.
Oh yeah.
Hilarious.
And just one more thing I want to say about the celebration and the Stanley Cup Final and stuff. Jared Bednar's speech at the parade.
Oh man, he started crying and stuff.
Yeah, he was a little hammered. We could tell that, but I mean, yeah, I couldn't get through that speech without squirting a few. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he's just such a nice guy. You know, it's like, it's so hard not to like feel for him, or like kind of like understand, you know.
And for a guy who doesn't who tries to really keep his emotions in check when he's on the bench, it's just really great to see a lot of emotion flow from him, because, you know, that a lot of people like to harp on him. It's like, he doesn't show any emotion on the bench, which, I mean, I don't really think is a negative thing. Like, because if your coach is going crazy and like losing it, what does that say to the players, you know? Yeah. So I don't know. I just really like that that emotion was there and got to be captured.
Yeah, you know? It was super cool, and a lot of people, you know, that maybe aren't from Colorado or haven't like been close around him or anything. He's a very down to earth guy. Oh, he's probably one of the nicest people you ever meet. Oh, totally. You know, if you didn't know he was the Avalanche head coach, you'd never guess if you met him. You just think he's a normal, blue collar type of dude that enjoys a Bud Light here and there, and and goes golfing and maybe smokes a cigar here and there. You know, like, he's a very, very normal dude. You would never guess. Oh, no way. If you didn't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, now that, you know, the Stanley Cup Final is come and gone, we're actually right in the midst of the free agency frenzy.
Yeah, and a lot of things have already gone down. We already lost a few players. Kemper's gone, Burakovsky's gone. Who else?
Obe Kubel, the initial cup dropper, if you will. You know, re-signed Manson, Lecky, Nichushkin. You know, but you know, Naz still remains a question. But, you know, I'm like, what I really want to look at right now is not exactly like who will go where, but I've just been thinking about this, and I've kind of been mulling it over. It's just so I'm gonna start it like this. You know, every player has a value, and it's very important to understand and fight for that value. And a lot of these players, as of right now, I mean, even you look at Johnny Gaudreau right now, he's being offered upwards of tens of millions of dollars and stuff.
I need to win the Stanley Cup.
Right, but I mean, and this goes, and I guess this really more pertains to players who have won the Stanley Cup and are UFAs that year. Where, in my eyes, you know, these guys got into hockey to win the Stanley Cup, to win.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, a nice paycheck is incredible, and knowing your worth and fighting for your worth is very important as well, which is great. But, you know, you see so many of these, you know, like bigger name guys, like after winning a cup and becoming a UFA, everybody says it, they prize themselves out of the team that they played for, that you won the Stanley Cup with. It's happening now with Kadri. It's happened numerous times with other big name guys. Yeah. Maybe it's just my small brain. Maybe I'm naive, or you know, maybe I've just never been thrown millions of dollars at. But why wouldn't you take at least just a little bit less, especially if the team is cap strapped? You have an incredible, like the people, the fans, the players. The organization has an incredible love for you. Why would you not want to stay for a little bit less?
Yeah, no, I definitely understand where you're coming from. I think a lot of it, unfortunately, has to do is when you get older, you get maybe wiser. I can't even say if you can get wiser. Priorities change, put it that way.
Right.
When you are a 20-some-year-old Kale McCarr with no family, no nothing, what does he have to lose, right?
Right.
He's a bachelor, put it this way, you know, like any sort of money is a lot of money for him, and he's just, you know, he knows he has plenty of years ahead of him, that sort of thing. So for people like that, sure, absolutely. Now, when you start getting up in age, unfortunately, your body's starting to break down more. There's going to be consequences of all the beating that you've taken when you get older.
You might have started a family.
You might have a wife now. You might have kids now that are going to have to go through college. And, you know, I think it's just priorities change. And when priorities change and you have now family members to take care for and stuff, unfortunately, money comes into play too.
Right.
And I think that's kind of where it gets to, because it's
you don't know how much longer you'll be making some like this kind of money.
There's that. You don't know how much longer you're gonna make that type of money, and I think a lot of people too, is when that day actually comes, and you are gone and you will not be part of it anymore. I think it's, for a lot of these players, it's like, well, what now?
Yeah, totally.
Because that's all they know, and for the last 10, how many years, you know, if you're lucky, that's all they've known is hockey. And now that's taken away from them,
mm-hmm.
and that was their main source of income. And God forbid you didn't have, you weren't one of the luckier ones that made all those crazy millions or whatever.
And maybe, you know, spent your money wisely, or entrusted your money wisely.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that, and it's like, what do? You know?
Right, I understand that for sure.
It's kind of like, put it like, I don't know if it's even like a fair comparison, kind of like military, right? You military dudes, they do it for like, some are like hardcore, they do it for 4+ years, you know, and they get all these benefits and stuff, and then they get retired or honorably discharged or whatever. And same thing, like, these people struggle. It's like, well, what do I do? That's all I know. Like, it's hard to like get into like that normal like society, you know. And that's a very, very extreme comparison. A lot of these guys, you know, you see a lot of them then end up working for actually the organization, or
mm-hmm.
some sort of coaching gig or whatever. You know, they still make a little bit of money or go broadcasting, but that isn't, at the end of the day, like, that isn't the case for all of them.
Probably about 80% of these guys, you know. True.
Yeah.
And, you know, I honestly didn't think about that, too. And I guarantee you there's plenty of other reasons why guys do what they do. Maybe it's, you know, like I said, maybe it's just me being naive. But, I mean, if I had the possibility to maybe take less and stay and create something bigger, I think I might take it. But yeah, there are a lot of extenuating circumstances that, you know, just won't let some guys do that.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. No, I totally see both sides. Totally see both sides. And again, like, I see where you're coming from too. If me personally, I was a young buck and still kind of chasing it and whatnot, like, yeah, I'd probably take a cut. But if I'm like, I'm getting in my 30s and like my knees are starting to fucking go out and, you know, you're getting out of bed and you can't function without, you know, having to like stretch and getting massages and stuff, and it's like, ooh, this is gonna really backfire when I get older.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to get my money until the last second I can, because I don't know if I'll be able to make anything after that. You know, because you got to start looking at investing and...
Right, and not a lot of these guys went to college, you know. I mean, obviously now there are more NCAA, like, alumni that are in the NHL, but still, a lot of these guys just played hockey all their year. They didn't get like, a further education, so... Yeah, no, I definitely get that, and, you know, maybe it's just, like I said, you know, me just being wishful and kind of naive when looking at it, you know, like, maybe looking at it through... more of like rose-colored glasses where other stuff like that doesn't happen.
No, sure, and it's, you know, and it's definitely, it's like, you and I look at it as like, how can you blow through $2 million a year? That is insane, right? And like, for people that don't make it, can obviously like, that's crazy, like I would never do that.
Oh,
but
I could never spend $2 million in my lifetime.
But I think like when you get put in that position and you happen to be one of the lucky ones that gets blessed with something like that, I think even you and I could easily blow through. Your whole life changes. Your house all of a sudden gets a bit bigger. Even you said you wouldn't get the bigger house, or your car gets you know, fancier, you know, and all this stuff. Like I think unfortunately that just comes with it. You know, you'd say you never would, but when you have it, I think you would.
Yeah. And that's a huge point too. You know, you stop shopping at Special K and start shopping at Whole Foods. You know,
right? Yeah, yep.
Especially if you're Nathan McKinnon, you know, you got to stay healthy.
Yeah. No. Yeah. When you got like, who was it? Yeah, Nate. Yeah, the private chefs and all that crazy stuff.
Yeah.
That he's had. You know, yeah, that all costs a lot of money.
Yeah, true. And, you know, like I said, I was probably just looking at it through rose-colored glasses. You know, and in the end, there is, you know, with more money comes more problems. Just like, you know, I think it was Biggie that said it, more money, more problems.
One of them. I don't even know.
One of them.
But yeah, man, now that the season's over, you know, and like we just mentioned, we lost a couple people. We picked up some people. Where do you see the Avs this upcoming season? Are we still a pretty good contender with the people that we've lost, or do you think that we're kind of starting it's going to be like a newer rebuild, so to speak, even though we have a bunch of people still for years and years? No
way, no rebuild for sure. I mean, we have our entire core intact. Just got back three players that were so vital to us in the playoffs. We got Nichushkin signed for a long time. We got Lehkonen signed for 5 years. We got Manson back for 4 years. I mean, we basically did the same thing as we did last year with goaltending, just a little cheaper with Georgiev. I think Georgiev and Frankie are going to be a great goalie tandem. I think we're fine.
Yeah,
I honestly do.
The goaltending thing, I'm sorry, but like I'm very, very happy about how the goaltending situation worked out. Again, I've said it in and out. Like I always said, I don't think Kemper's the one, and I still believe he's not the one. Yeah, did he have some great games? Absolutely. Did he help us? 100%. But was he the reason for the Stanley Cup? No.
I mean,
no, he was not.
He factored into it at times, but Frankie won us six pivotal games.
Yeah.
6 pivotal games,
Mm-hmm.
very big games. So, man, yeah, like, Kemper, he proved me wrong in the grand scheme of things. I thought we were dead in the water with Kemps, but, he played really well. And, we won the Stanley Cup with him, but, yeah, he wasn't the reason why we won a Stanley Cup.
No, like, how Lightning can always talk about Vasilevsky, like, he's, like, a huge part why we're here today, in this position. But, like, you couldn't say that about Kemper.
No way. And, and you got to, and I'll tell you right now, you got to give our defense a lot of credit. You got to give the Avs defense a lot of credit.
Yeah, I mean, defense was good. No, there's no doubt about it. But I believe the offense was even stronger than the defense.
Well, I mean, you even look at how the offense played in the defensive zone. I mean, McKinnon playing up against some of the most high-powered forwards out there. McDavid, Draisaitl. Granted, Draisaitl was hurt, but I mean, you still got Stamkos, Kucherov, Perron. He played against all of those players and shut them down for the most part.
I agree with you. There's always, who was it, Gretzky always rammed about, that defense wins games, wins Stanley Cups or whatever. I mean, I kind of feel like we kind of broke that in a sense.
I mean,
that it's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some pretty high scoring games, even though some of the ones that we won, but the game's so changed these times too when you compare it to Gretzky days, like it was a whole different. The goalies played a whole different style. Like, I mean, everyone the skating was different. Everything was different.
And I mean, I got to tell you, dude, if you want to win a Stanley Cup, your offense needs to play good defense too. I'll tell you that right now. And I think everybody, I mean, especially Nichushkin, unreal. Lehkonen coming in and playing unreal defensively and putting up some huge points. Everybody on the offense in the Avalanche played a solid defensive game as well. Yeah. It was a beautiful team game. They played beautiful. 200 foot north, south, east, west. They all had it covered all. And you need that. And I don't think we're going to lose that anytime soon.
Yeah, no, definitely. It'll be super cool to see where we're at this upcoming season, and it's what's crazy to think about. It's so short too. I mean, we're in July right now. Preseason starts in September, and regular season's in October.
October 11th is when the season starts.
I mean, we're literally talking a couple months.
Yeah.
July's basically halfway through already.
Oh yeah, we haven't.
No.
Oh no. We haven't. I don't remember. Well, the last time we had such a short season or off season was the COVID when that last Stanley Cup Final ran so long into the summer. Yeah. And then for Avs fans, when we won the Cup last in 2001, that's probably like the shortest off season. I think the 2 shortest off seasons I can remember.
Yeah. We're getting right into hockey here in a bit again. So it's I'm excited. I wanna see what we got. Are we gonna win another Stanley Cup? I don't know. I don't want to say.
I mean, like I said, free agent frenzy is still going on. We still got a little bit of an off season, and there's been some major moves already. So you never know. Yeah,
I mean. In fact, I mean, anything could have happened as we were speaking to. So, it's been an active thing. One thing, though, I want to ask you, though, this whole Patrick Kane rumor going around that apparently the Avs were looking for him. He's going to be out of Chicago this season, from what it sounds like.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on with that right now.
I don't want to. I think it's just like a random rumor. First of all, I don't think it's true. The way I look at it is like, first of all, like I've never been a big fan, and then second of all, it's like we're still trying to figure out Kadri's situation. Why the hell are we looking at Patrick Kane? Because this ain't gonna be any cheaper,
For real. And honestly, if you ask me, I'd rather go downtown on Hillary Clinton than see Patrick Kane in an Avalanche sweater. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, not a fan. It just I don't know if it has the past stuff that's still kind of lingering around.
It sits in my craw. It definitely does. And I don't know. I always thought he was a bit of a show off and a bit of a little ego prick.
Yeah, he might be a plague in the locker room.
For real, you never know, man. I mean, he's had his success, obviously, but I mean that was a while ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I say miss me with that Patrick Kane shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so in honor of season finale, in honor of the Stanley Cup coming back to Denver, we have 2 Stanley Cups right here next to us.
We do. They're much smaller than the real thing, but if you combine them. No, we're getting pretty close to it.
You'll get there, yeah. I mean, that's what, the 38 inches? That's probably at the Stanley Cup right now.
Yeah.
I suggest to sign this one off. We take a swig of some beer out of the top of these cups just for the finale and to celebrate.
You got it, buddy.
What do you say?
You got it, man. Yeah. Guys, this was, like Cody said, a little finale. We're going to take a little break. Yeah, there's free agency going on and stuff, but not. I don't think it's anything crazy. So we're gonna take a little break, figure things out, how we want to proceed with stick and puck.
Nothing we can't talk about later for sure.
Yeah, in the future, but we'll be probably back in a couple months. We'll go hang out, take a little vacation, so to speak.
Well, yeah, and if you're ever getting a little itchy for some podcasting credibility. You can always stream On the Bench with Beeks and Between the Pipes podcast, past episodes, on like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts.
All that fun stuff.
We always welcome you to listen to past episodes. We love doing this for you, so the more you listen, the more we do it.
There you go. And YouTube's been cranking along pretty well, too. We've been lucky enough to be able to put everything on YouTube so far.
Yep.
So if you want to see our annoying faces rambling about the same stuff that you're listening in your car, you can do that as well.
Absolutely. And I mean, see our wonderful jerseys hanging up, and I think we have lovely faces, but that's what my mom always told me, so you never know. She might just be saying that to make me feel better. I would assume that's what's going on, because nobody else seems to say it a lot, just my mom.
Just your mommy, huh?
So yeah, great finale, Keats. Let's send them off right with a little, tilt of the cup here.
Yeah, let's do it, buddy. All right, we're signing off. Till next time, guys.
Have a good one, guys.